Module 1 is entitled Developing a Risk Mindset, and this is very intentional. What risk means to you or to me, and how I relate to or how you relate to risk, is very personal. It's an area of our lives that can be very challenging, and how we rise to those challenges, how we view those challenges, again, can be very personal. So it is quite deliberate that Module 1, as a starting point in this overall course, is designed to make us think and make us reflect. The idea is for you to spend a bit of time thinking about what risk really means to you. In what context are you working with risk? So with that in mind, the first video after this introduction will focus very much on the concepts of fear, of blame, and of risk aversion, as these are ideas that can significantly impact the way we think and the way we work with risky situations or issues around risk. I will draw on some of the literature, not just from my own background in healthcare, but from much wider in terms of helping us to think and reflect on risk and how risk is responded to in different circumstances. Following on from that particular video, there will then be a focus around a number of quotes. Now, I like searching out quotes that are relevant to a particular topic, but perhaps help us to think differently or expand our thinking around that topic. So I'm going to set out a number of quotes which I think are very pertinent to the way we think and respond and react to risk. Following on from the quotes, the next video will focus very much on a set of principles to underpin our practice. Again, I've always felt that it's been very important for me throughout the whole of my career, and in terms of the people I've worked alongside or been involved in the training and development of, that when we're thinking about risk or indeed other aspects of our work, it's important to think along a set of principles that can guide and support us and perhaps ensure consistency in the way we approach different situations. Beyond the video on principles, I will then be finishing this particular module focused on the overall title of the course, positive risk taking. This is a concept that I initiated back in 1994, and it's been the mainstay of certainly all of my work in self-employment, dating back to 2001. Though of the many people I've had conversations with where that phrase positive risk taking has been used, what's consistently striking me is that people use it in different ways. They understand the phrase differently. And quite often I'm left quite unclear about their particular use of the phrase. So I will use this video to set out where it came from, how I intended the use of this phrase, how I present the definition and its description, and then also to go on and think a little bit more about what do we need in our day-to-day practice that will help us to successfully and consistently implement the concept of positive risk taking. I think it is essentially something that helps us to help those that we're working with, whether that's clients, patients, students, children in school, whatever business you're working in. How do we empower people to take more control of their decision making? And particularly if it's decision making that's going to involve taking a risk. So that information will be set out in detail. You'll see alongside some of these videos that there will be PDF attachments which will provide further information and or guide and prompt your thinking. So across this module, I think it's very important that we take that time to reflect on what does risk mean for us? What's our relationship to risk? In terms of risk averse or risk taking, what stance do we feel most comfortable with? And ultimately, what do we need in place to help us make those decisions as confidently and clearly as possible?